Hey all, what's up everybody? Tim with this week's Magnetic Moment post. Hope you are doing phenomenal and crushing it. The title for today's shoot is Give with No Expectation of Return. So what I want to talk about today is the power of giving and the power of freeing yourself from expecting people to reciprocate in that giving. Now, I equate giving to planting seeds. Anytime you plant a seed, it's going to grow and it's going to produce after its own kind, and it's going to produce exponentially in greater amounts than what you planted. Obviously, if you plant an apple seed, it's going to grow an apple tree and you're going to get multiple apples on that tree. Giving is the same way. There is a universal law that says when you give, you better watch out, because it is going to come back to you, and it's going to come back to you many, many times over. Some of the most successful people on the planet attribute their wealth, their success, their influence to giving. They give and they give and they give, and it's almost like you're paying it forward. We've all heard that movie about paying it forward, that you give and you give and you give, and all of a sudden good things start to show up. Well, I found that to be very true in my life, and I'm sure you have too. Plus, giving just feels good, because giving takes the focus off of us and it puts the focus on other people. One of the things we got to watch out is having the tendency to give with an expectation of return from a specific person or a specific source or in a specific time. Because when we do that, we have an agenda attached to it. And anytime there's an agenda attached to something, it's not true, it's not legitimate, it's a manipulation, and it's faulty, it's fraudulent, and it won't produce. I've seen a lot of people give with the expectation that somebody else is going to do something in return. That's not really giving. Once again, that's trying to manipulate somebody into acting or doing something. True giving means you give and you don't expect anything to come your way. It may come from that person. Most of the time it comes from a totally different source, in a totally different manner, in a totally different time frame. So if you attach a time frame, or you expect somebody else to do something in return for you, you're not giving, you're manipulating. And that really is kind of a creepy vibe to give off, and it doesn't really feel that good. And I believe people can tell that. But if you give for the sheer love of giving, and especially if you give to people who have no way to return to you, you are going to see all kinds of really cool and awesome things show up for you in all kinds of different ways, in all kinds of different fashions. And the more you give, the more it comes back. There have been times when I've had absolutely zero funds coming in, but I haven't backed off on my giving. As a matter of fact, when I've been in those tough times, I've actually given more. Maybe I didn't have money to give, but I gave my time, I gave my service, I gave my friendship. I found different ways to give. And when I was in my greatest moments of need, I found that when I upped my giving, life takes care of me. The Creator takes care of me. The universe takes care of me. And then when I do have and give, it comes back in even greater capacity. So if you're in a tough time right now, I would encourage you, the best way out is to give. But when we give, we got to give freely. We got to give with no intention or with no expectation of what's going to return to us, either from a certain person or a certain source or in a certain time frame. And if you operate freely and you just give, you're going to feel awesome, because you're giving of yourself. You're going to help tons of people, and you're going to see things start showing up in an absolutely amazing way beyond expectation. But we have to give with no expectation. And if you have an expectation, change that to appreciation. Instead of expecting that person to do something or that situation, just appreciate that person and appreciate that situation. That will help refocus your mental disposition. So I would encourage you, live to give, because giving is the currency of the universe, and you can't outgive what life can give back to you. But what you give, if it's negative, that's what you're going to get back, or if it's positive, that's what you're going to get back. So I would encourage you to give, have no expectation, and see what happens. Try it for a day, a week, a month, a year, and I guarantee you, you will be so intoxicated by it, you're going to turn it into your lifestyle, and you are going to take off as never before. So this is Tim with this week's Magnetic Moment. Encourage you to give and give without expectation, and watch the floodgates open in your life. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.